I'm Dan, and this is 10,000 Hours of Indie, a podcast exploring new music and delving deeper into what goes on in the background of the independent music industry. I've been a musician and passionate music lover for as long as I can remember, and spent a stupid amount of time listening to mostly new music every week. Get involved and help grow this community. Follow on socials, Instagram, Blue Sky, Facebook, and soon a YouTube channel too, and email me 10,000indie@gmail.com if you have any ideas or want to get involved in the podcast itself. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, I first became aware of Carla Aakre a few weeks ago at Oddfest, where she played a set celebrating her recent album release. The album in question is her debut, Things I Forgot to Tell You, released at the end of May, a follow-up to her 2021 EP, Again Right Away. Described as folk, indie pop, or simply as a singer-songwriter, Carla has had airplay on BBC Six Music, and she's about to hit 50,000 streams of her single These Hours on Spotify. Hi, Carla. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
I've been browsing through your social media a lot. So would you describe yourself as quite typically Finnish?
I doubt that I'm a typical Finn, but there are definitely many Finnish things in me.
What I'm referring to is your Instagram is a mixture of sort of pictures of you recording and playing shows, and then loads of you in the Finnish countryside at the cabin and things like that.
Yeah, in that sense, yes. And also many of these album songs I have written at the cabin. That's really like a place where I can ground myself.
There's also a section on your vegetable patch in your Instagram as well.
Sometimes I think whether it's relevant information that there is this veggie garden, like this Instagram story ball there in my profile. I have kept it there because, growing vegetables is nice.
I think it's nice to have something outside of music on there, because too many musicians just have, here's a gig, here's a picture from the gig, here's a gig poster. You know, it's nice to see a bit more personality on Instagram.
Exactly. And the way I think of it is that this like singer-songwriter part of me is only one part of me, you know, that I am also a lot more than just that. And it's can be nice for the listeners to know something more about me than only the music-related stuff.
Yeah, and of course it sort of flows into your music as well, because you've got songs like Fruit Tree and things like that as well. So I guess there's a crossover with all of it as well.
Yep, that's true.
Let's talk about Oddfest, where I first saw you and heard about you. How was the show? Because I think you were quite late in actually starting your show. By the time you started, I think the entire audience had already been there for most of your sound check as well.
Yeah, that was pretty unfortunate. The changeover time for us was too short. It was only 30 minutes and no microphones or monitors or anything was on the stage when we went on it. So the sound check itself, and we were able to put our stuff in places pretty quickly, but then just putting up all the mics and technical related stuff just took a lot of time. And also the technical engineers, they said that this changeover time was really too short for us and it should have been longer. But what can you do? Then you just need to live with the situation. And at least we got to play some of the songs.
Yeah, no, it was a good set. You didn't seem too phased by it. You just got on with it and let it happen. So I assume you were just like, well, it is what it is kind of thing.
Well, that's good to hear. Of course, it's then creates this little feeling of discomfort inside when I realized that things are not going as I imagined them to go, and there are changes. And also from the set list we had planned to have, then we just needed to drop off some songs in the situation. But it was good learning experience, so to say, because I think that many times things won't go as planned. So it's good to have flexibility and be able to adjust in changes.
I don't think I've ever had a gig where everything's gone to plan. So I've been gigging for 25 years. I don't think I've ever turned up and everything's been completely smooth. So you should get used to that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your band, because you were a 6-piece when you played Oddfest. Was it 6?
I think there were 5 people.
5, okay.
Yes, that's just we had basic band instruments there, and these people I played with are people that I know from my music circles, and actually my sister also played keyboards there, Milla Käyhtö.
I was fascinated by your drummer, because he used so many different styles to play, and every song has a different sort of percussion feel to it. And he was really adapting to everything. It was fascinating to watch.
Yes, Levi, he's a very good musician. It was actually amazing. Originally, my band has a different drummer, but he wasn't able to participate at Oddfest, so we needed to have somebody instead of him. And then Levi came in, and the first rehearsals we had together, he had already checked all of the songs so well that it really felt like we had been playing together for months. That was like mind blowing. That's really something that only like really professional musicians do, that they are so well prepared. It was amazing.
I didn't realize he wasn't part of the band normally. So it definitely, what you said, showed in the show.
Yeah.
Also playing at Oddfest were Drugstore Raid, who I thought were fantastic. You seem to play quite a few shows with them, despite the obvious genre differences between the two. Is it just because you're friends, or is there a bigger background to that story?
Yeah, we found each other through this record label, Kieku Records. That's where we both were. But then Kieku Records, unfortunately, they needed to stop working this spring, and we had already booked these gigs together, and I think it was actually quite nice to tour with them.
I assume you went on before them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because otherwise you coming on afterwards would be
Yes.
I don't want to say an anticlimax, but obviously they're very energetic on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean they were right after you on the outside stage at Oddfest.
That's right.
And it was blinding sunlight outside when I walked out of your gig, and I was like, I can't see anything. But they reminded me of sort of late 70s Talking Heads, that sort of style and passion and image and that kind of thing, but with a saxophone player.
Yeah, they really have a cool thing going on.
Yeah. So your album came out at the end of May. How has that been? Have you had good feedback from it?
I have gotten so good feedback that it makes me blush. Yeah, it has been very nice to hear that people have liked it. And also some random people from all around the world have messaged me about it. And feels, of course, very good. It was a big thing for me since it took quite a lot of time making it, and then it had been ready for 1 year already, and I was just waiting when it would come out, and now it's there.
And I guess it feels good when you finally let go and it's out there, and people can finally hear it, because judging from your Instagram, it's been sort of 18 months to 2 years that it's taken you from the start of the process.
Mm-hmm. That's true, and it's also it's important mentally that I feel like it's releasing the album also released me mentally, and now I'm able to continue forward with my music. Yep.
Yeah. If you had to pick just one song from the album to sell it to a new listener, what would the song be?
My personal favorite is Apple.
Good song. I would say Fruit Tree, personally. I think it's got a little bit of everything, but your album it starts with, I don't know, for me, I can hear some sort of Nick Drake influences and things like that in the early part of the album. And then about halfway through, it gets a little bit more experimental and goes in a slightly different direction. And then it finishes with that lovely piano song. And I think the album flows really well. It's a really good track listing and a good order for it.
Nice to hear that. That's what we were aiming for.
there's so few bands, or maybe not few bands, but there's so many bands who don't release albums anymore. And I think people don't think enough about the order of the songs these days. So when you do put an album on, it's a bit disjointed, but I think yours flows really, really well.
Thank you.
So where did the album name come from?
It was just a feeling that I got. All of these album songs are songs that I just made after releasing the EP 2021. And then we just picked the ones that we thought were the best and would suit together the best. And then they often had this theme that I sort of, many of these songs have consisted of my inner talk, if you know what I mean, like things I have held on my mind without maybe letting people around me know about it.
That makes sense. I think for me, the album title, because I lost a very dear friend last year, and the album title really evoked that sort of, damn, there were so many things I should have said. That was what it meant to me, at least. How do you write your songs? Do you just sit down? You said you write a lot at the cabin. Do you just sit down with a guitar and sort of strum away and find something and then go to the band and flesh it out? Or what's your process?
I always start up with just playing something random, like some usually chords or melodies. And then I just sing whatever comes to my mind, like some like random English words. And then some of them I write down, and I might also record these sort of first demos. And then later on, I see what all kinds of lines or words I have collected. And then I try to think whether there's something I could like connect them with, or how to connect them together. And usually my lyrics, they are not straight from my own life, but of course there are influences of my own experiences and feelings and thoughts. But it's also, they also have other things that I just think are like related to the main idea of them.
That's interesting. I obviously, being English, I couldn't write like that, but that's really interesting that it's sort of, it stems from just sort of collective feelings and vibes and comes together that way. That's like do you know a mind map? When you write a mind map on paper, something like that, so that there is like maybe this main idea or main feeling, and then I just collect. Some things can be straight from my imagination, and some from my life, and some from my what I know that some other people have experienced or something. It's like a puzzle. Cool, that's really cool. So what are your influences musically? I mean, I heard a lot of Nick Drake in the early part of the album and things like that. Is that somebody you listen to?
Yes, definitely. I actually have the same guitar Nick Drake used when he recorded this Pruder Later album.
Brighter Later, yeah.
Pruder Later, don't know how to say it.
No, it's a good album. How about other things? Is it mainly folk that influences you, or do you listen to all kinds of music and sort of just take ideas from all of them?
I do listen all kinds of music, and other big influencers are Laura Marlin and Billy Martin, if you know.
Yeah.
I definitely really love her second album, Feeding Seahorses by Hand. It's amazing, like the songwriting, and it just has this magical feeling in it.
Cool. Yeah. I think that's most of the main questions, really. I mean, what's next for you? Have you got some more shows coming up? Are you writing again now that you've got this album out there?
I am writing, yes, making new music. There is one gig on this showcase festival in Tampere in the end of September coming. I have tried to keep this summer quite empty so that there would really be time for creative work. That's gonna happen.
So because the record label folded, I assume this was self-released, this album, in the end.
That's right. So I then decided to put it out myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
as an independent artist.
Well, that's the whole point of this podcast is 10,000 hours of indie. So I do try and only speak to independent artists. Or, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're on a small label, that's still independent for me. But how did you find the releasing? Was it relatively straightforward or did you have problems with it?
It went pretty smooth. There were some things that we needed to deal with when switching the rights of these previously released singles from the label to me again. So that involved some paperwork, so to say.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it went very smoothly.
And why did you choose to sing in English and not Finnish?
The English somehow just fits to my mouth better, I think.
Okay. I guess if a lot of your musical influences sing in English, I guess that that helps the process as well.
Yeah. I think that's originally where it's coming from. That after starting to listen to more and more English music, then it sort of also becomes a natural way to then sing in English.
Yeah. For anyone wishing to find out more, you're most active on Instagram.
That's right.
Are there any other ways to contact you or find you? I mean, obviously your music's on all the streaming sites and you've got a Bandcamp page. Is there anywhere else people can find you?
I have a Facebook page also. And on my Instagram bio, there is the email address. If somebody wants to contact me in a business sense, then that's possible to send me an email there.
Okay, and what's the dream? Would you like to play outside of Finland in the long term? Maybe play a folk festival in the UK or something like that?
Oh, yes. Like the ultimate goal is really to head abroad of Finland, outside of Finland. Yes, play gigs and maybe have an international label behind me. That would be a huge thing.
Yeah. When you play live, can you play solo or do you only ever play with a band?
I can also play solo. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyone who wants to get in contact with you, hit up the Instagram, find the email and get some more gigs because I want to see you live again. And I want to see a full set this time, not an edited one because there's a cock up with the sound check times.
Yes, feel free to contact me, everybody.
Great. Well, Carla's album, Things I Forgot to Tell You, can be found on Bandcamp and all streaming services. Carla, thanks for spending some time with 10,000 Hours and enjoy your summer off and continued good luck with the album.
Thank you. This was a pleasure.